Hello guys, today I'm going to do a vlog, well, sort of vlog I suppose. It's been a while since I've done any of those, but since it's Valentine's coming up, and I kind of totally forgot about it, but I'm going to do a brief rundown of my top 5 anime couples. I was going to do top 5 gaming characters couples, but that was kind of really hard to decide off the top of my head, because I quite literally just remembered that I should be doing stuff like this. So yeah, here goes. Number 5 on my list. Let me just have a look at my notes. But I would say it has to be from August 02, which is NoAV. Lean and Natruma. The couple are kind of put together, and to begin with, Natruma is really distrusting and doesn't really. It's really hard to get along with. But obviously, through the events of the OAV, which is quite quickly, to be fair, because only like 6 episodes or something. A good romance blossoms, and I obviously not going to spoil the plot for you, but it doesn't end that well, and to be honest, I think that kind of ending to a couple kind of makes me remember them more, so that's probably one of the reasons why this one sticks in my mind so much and is in my top 5 anime couples. I would say number 4 would be Escaflowne. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing that properly, but that is a difficult word. And the main couple are Hitomi and Van. She gets transported from her everyday modern life to a parallel dimension, where obviously she meets up with this guy called Van, and they're on the run from an invading army who basically takes over this country, and they're kind of on the run with this kind of like prototype or kind of legendary transforming robot, and there's a lot of love triangles and things like that going on, and it takes them a long time to figure out that they really love each other, and again, it's another one of those ones where it doesn't end quite as well as some people would have hoped, but again, that's probably one of the reasons why I remembered it so well. And again, both these titles at the moment are really quite old. Now, obviously, there's so many anime couples that it's hard to decide, and I've probably forgotten some that I probably would have put on the list if I'd done a bit more research and remembered which titles I've seen. But number 3, I think is going to be from Clannad. The main characters are Tomio and Nagisa, and their love story happens over 2 series, so it's like 52 episodes or something like that, and it's a very lovey-dovey type of romance. They obviously quite like each other from the get-go, but their relationship develops over time, and it's one of those shows that actually shows you what happens after they leave school, which, because obviously a lot of anime is set in schools, and you don't get to see what happens after the anime kind of finishes at the end of school type of thing. And I really like this, to see them trying to start up a family and buying a house or renting a house, everyday kind of struggles. But it didn't reach my number 1, which I'm sure a lot of people be disapproving of, is because the two as a couple are kind of a little bit too idyllic. They don't squabble, they agree with everything. Nagisa especially is very supportive over everything he says and does, and is a bit submissive in a kind of bad way. And that's why it didn't make my #1 spot. Now, number 2, I would say, it's hard to choose, but it's going to be Howls Moving Castle. Now, obviously, there are quite a lot of great couples in Studio Ghibli films. Now, I didn't want to fill up my whole 5 with Studio Ghibli films, so I chose one that I thought, as a couple, were the best. And Howl's Moving Castle is obviously Howl and Sophia, I can't remember. Anyway, it's a film. It's quite obviously, it's not particularly as long as the others ones to develop the characters and stuff, but she falls in love with this magician who is a bit of comes across as quite a player. You know, lots of women fancy him. He's really good looking. He's got real good, magical powers and all that. But then she finds that he's not quite as amazing as people think he is, and their relationship develops through their seeing each other's flaws, which I think is cool. And number 1 is actually kind of a maybe love story. It's Bato and Major Kusanagi from Ghost in the Shell. I absolutely love Ghost in the Shell, so I'm going to be a bit biased about this couple, but they never actually get it on, if you want to put it that way. They're kind of always like maybe will they, won't they kind of thing going on. The Major is very independent. She's a kick-ass woman. She can kick people's asses literally, and outsmart them as well. And Bato is your kind of almost kind of typical macho kind of guy, but even though he's a macho guy, he's got big muscles. He punches people more than talks to people. He is kind of like the damsel in distress almost. He's the one waiting for her to come back from her mission safely, type of thing. And I really like that dynamic. And of course, there's been like 2 series and 3 films, and there's another one coming out at the moment called Arise, and it's never come to anything. And that's kind of why I like it. And that's kind of a cheat, I suppose, for my top 5 romantic couples. But there you go. I'm hoping people will, on the comments, leave their top 5 as well. Hopefully some of you might agree. And I'm sure that there's a lot of other ones I quite easily put in here. But a lot of them come under the same thing as Clannad. They're a little bit too idyllic. They get on too well. They don't seem to have many flaws. They're just a bit too nice, which obviously from time to time is awesome, but it's a bit unbelievable at the same time. So there you go, guys. Those are my top 5 anime couples. Hope